right, hey guys, we are back. Welcome back to this channel. If you can, just before we get into everything, please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on the video. We're back actually, and honestly, we're still getting it on time. I'm thinking this new schedule at work is kind of working out. We actually just got off this morning, sometime around like 10 a.m. So we're just in time to actually react to today's One Piece chapter. Let me actually just go in real quick, make sure everything's good on YouTube's end. We seem to be running fine. Excellent connection. Cool. All right. So, welcome, guys. In today's stream, we're pretty much going to be reacting to chapter 115 of One Piece, or 1115 of One Piece. I have not read it yet, and I'm kind of surprised or excited to see what's going to be going on with today's chapter. I know last time we ended on a big note with the Mother Flame and everything else. So, I mean, I'm pretty hyped to see what this chapter holds. But without further ado, let's definitely hop right in and see what happens. All right, so starting off, we have the cover page here, chapter 1115, Continental Fragments. And we have Yamato, and we have oh, she's at the Oni Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine pilgrimage, getting a bento from Hiyori and Otako. Huh. So this is pretty cute. I guess Yamato's actually just watching them eat, or maybe even prepare meals for Yamato before she goes on her voyage around Wano. This is actually pretty cute. I definitely like how Hiyori looks. Pretty much, I don't think they're eating. She might be eating, but I think she's preparing the bento boxes. Let me see here real quick. So it's volume 5. I wonder if Oda plans to actually do this any farther. Definitely would be cool, but I mean, I definitely would like to see more of this, or at the very least, see what happens if she ends up heading out into Wano. Like maybe if we get stories of her actually on her voyage in Wano as we progress with these cover pages. But let's continue on. All right, we're gonna hop right into page 1. First, actually, let's read the editor notes from Oda. Oda says, Ato's recent concert at the National Stadium was incredible. The world-traveling pop princess keeps outdoing herself. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So that's pretty awesome. He definitely ended up going to a pop concert. That was cool. Huh. Alright, so we're gonna start off. Oh wow, we're actually starting off in Wano. So we go straight from the cover page to page 1 being a shot of Wano. You can see the Straw Hat flag is on the front, representing that Luffy definitely is in alliance with the land of Wano. The flower capital, Wano. It's hard to believe this foreign transmission is reaching us. Now, you may be wondering how he came to be known as a pirate. We found the snail in the castle among Orochi's possessions. So, you were a pirate, Joy Boy? Just like Luffy. You know of him, my lord? Huh, this is interesting. So that's pretty cool. Like, you could see that Momo is pretty much making the relation between Joy Boy and Luffy, which is kind of a given, but it's just cool to actually see it here. Let's see what else. Hold on. Go down a page. Let's see. A jail cell at the G4 naval base. Joy Boy, who cares? I bet you could easily beat him, right, Captain Kid? Duh, the man's already dead. And then, oh my gosh, you've got the Damalo Black. You've got them actually being like Kid's crew now that they've been defeated because they knew they couldn't keep being Luffy's, like, I guess you could say, like, Walmart versions or whatever. This is crazy. And then he says, that's our captain. The only thing bigger than his confidence is his belly. Wow. Wow, okay. I'm just taken back by the fact that he chose to cosplay as Kid's crew now. Yeah, I'm clearly a million times tougher than this Joy Toy. It's Joy Boy, boss. Wow, he can't even say the right name. Fake pirate, fake everything. He's crazy for that. I can't believe they put him in here, though. That is insane. Like, I'm just so shocked at the fact that they really went on to actually try and be, like, Kid's crew. This is actually funny. Just because he's, like, I guess just, like, here. I don't know. That's insane. It just blew my mind seeing him again because we haven't seen him since like the very beginning of after the 2 year period. So that was pretty cool. Anyways, we go back. We have a shot of the Marines right here. They're looking in shock, and we have Vegapunk saying, "Do bear in mind, I only have access to a handful of poneglyphs, but their combined narrative clearly chronicles an unbelievable history about a great war in the distant past." Then you have a shot of the Marines, and then above Egghead, pretty cool. During that period, Joy Boy faced an enemy, the organization now known as the World Government. Wait, isn't that us? Well, he did say he was a pirate. Vegapunk? And then you have, I think this is Topman right here. Topman's pretty much just rushing Dory, Brogy, and Luffy still, so he's pretty angry. And then you have Vegapunk saying, back then, they were merely the Allied Powers, a temporary coalition consisting of 20 separate kingdoms. Let me just, one more time. Let me just read theirs together. During that period, Joy Boy faced an enemy, the organization now known as the World Government. Back then, they were merely the Allied Powers, a temporary coalition consisting of 20 separate kingdoms. So, okay, we kind of knew that because it's kind of like how the reveries are now and how obviously the 20 different kingdoms come there. So then we keep going. We have a shot outside of the Labostratum, and I believe the Vega records right there. And then you have one of the Gorosei coming down. It looks like he's pretty much trying to destroy or pretty much crushing every transponder snail around. He's looking very angry. It can be assumed that an alliance was the only feasible way to oppose the formidable faction to which Joy Boy belonged. So he was so strong that they had to pretty much make an alliance. That's interesting. And then you have a shot here of the kingdoms pretty much going at Joy Boy. I am afraid that the cause of this conflict still eludes me, so I do not presume to judge the morality of the combatants. I can, however, say that this war was a clash of two opposing ideologies. I mentioned earlier that Joy Boy was born into a fantastical civilization. Oh, and then you have freaking Zoe right here, and he's just basically looking eerie as ever. One so advanced that it is hard to believe it existed 900 years ago. And then, oh wow, this just looks insane. Okay. So then, obviously, this is on top of Zoe and everything, where we have the Minx. They're all looking surprised. The weapons that existed during the century long struggle are far beyond our modern science. That's amazing, says the Minx. And then we, of course, have freaking Davy back and everything, Foxy, and they're on this little ship. Fe, what's that peanut headed fool saying? Oh, boss, you're making me hungry. Such technology is baffling even to a genius such as myself. He's so big-headed. And then poop, 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 poop. It looks like, I don't know if the girl from the Foxy Pirates, I don't know if she changed her hair, because in this shot, it looks like she doesn't really have any color in her hair, and I'm pretty sure it was dark before. But anyways, continuing on. And therein lies our problem. Labostratum. Put it, so it looks like we have somebody either answering or hanging up a transponder snail in the next panel. Let me continue on just 1 second. Okay. So let's go back in. And then we have Stussy, Wheeze, huh? It's me, Edison. And then you have a shot of Kaku. Lower the barrier and hightail it out of there. But I can't. What if something were to happen to the Straw Hat crew? I'm gonna be straight with you. There ain't no point in the barrier no more. And then I guess you have Edison looking tired. Not when there are monsters on the island who can ignore it. And then you have the shot of the Gorosei still rummaging through all the transponders they can. We've done all we can for them. I'm sure they'll make it somehow. How much longer, Jinbei? My apologies, we're almost there. There's nothing to apologize for. We were busy. Is that you, Zoro? You're gonna get it later. Oh, wow. Okay. So that's crazy. Okay, I was just seeing who was talking in terms of the bubbles, and then Zoro's pretty much just not even. He's not even like apologetic about being late or holding them up. He's just like, okay, well, y'all can wait. It's funny. All right, so then we have a shot of Nami. She says, "Now hurry up. They're moving their ships to blockade the northeast coast. I'll never forgive you if we get blasted out of the water after all this." That's good to hear. I was worried Stella would never forgive me if I let them get caught. As if. Now get your ass out of there. But I don't know what to do with myself. So, okay. So hold on. So what was the last thing that he said? So it's just some of these bubbles, it looks like Vegapunk's talking, but then it looks like it's the transponders now. So it's a little bit confusing, but I'm guessing that's probably um oh, okay, so it's Stella, it's Stussy talking to Edison saying, "But I don't know what to do with myself, huh? Now that Stella's gone, who am I meant to live for? I have no purpose." And then you have a shot of Kaku looking a little bit empathetic. Um, don't let him use his sword. Wait, don't let him use his sword. So, okay, you have a giant Bonnie and the giants pretty much fighting Ethan, and they all, and Sanji's also on the ground. So you have two giants knocked down, a giant and Bonnie fighting Ethan. This geezer can cut anything. Sense the living voices, and I guess that's Ethan talking to himself. Um, it looks like he does a kick off of one of the giants with his horse legs, and then he says Bonnie dot dot dot, and then he just does a swipe, and it looks like Frankie is getting some W's in this freaking arc, dude. He literally just saved Bonnie again with this swipe, because Ethan literally did a whole, like, I guess you could say, like, straight chop, just like almost to her head, and then Frankie comes in and pretty much gets her to duck right before she actually can get like sliced or hurt. So then we have her saying "yeah," and then I'm guessing she turns smaller after this, because in this next panel she's still screaming, but it looks like his slash actually ended up going to, I guess the giant ship, because it cut off the top of one of the masts, maybe even a couple. Frankie saying, "I can't maintain distorted future very long." So you have Frankie holding Bonnie as she turns back into a child. The Void Century ended with Joy Boy's defeat. And then we have a shot here of the giant robot, and we also have a shot of Zoe, both who serve Joy Boy, so very fitting that they would put these two together. "How much do you intend to save, Vegapunk?" says Ethan. He's leaving. So Ethan's pretty much just dipping. He's looking for anything and everything he can try to cut. I Okay, hold on, because I got a little glimpse of the next panel, but hold on. We're gonna go right to left like we should. There are too many life forms up here, and then he's literally in front of the labostratum. But the aftermath had grander consequences. The wake of that ancient conflict scared the world, and those scars never healed. So then you literally have Ethan, and this is a beautiful shot. Ethan is literally sitting here doing a single slash through all of Egghead in order to try to find this transponder, and it's so crazy that he has literally cut through the whole, like, top half of the upper level of the labostratum. Like, this is insane. He's like on Mihawk Zoro status when it comes to cutting that ship in half, or like just Mihawk being able to cut through like an ice glacier mountain. Okay, so then we go down, and from here, 1 second, why did my mouse not, huh? What is going on here? Literally, why did my mouse die? Sorry, guys, technical difficulties, because I think my mouse has died. I don't get what is going on. Huh? Alright, well, this is very interesting, because yes, our mouse has died, so I guess we are using the keyboard here. Alright, so then you have the CP agents that were stuck at the bottom saying, "What the?" And then you have a shot of all the Seraphim. They're looking up as Ethan has cut the upper half of the labostratum in half, which is crazy. So like, this is just crazy shot to see again, because he's all the way above the whole Egghead Island in the upper half and just cuts it in half. And I guess from there, it's kind of weird, because now the CP agents and some of the Seraphim are actually falling, So I don't know if it's like topped over or what's happened, but the cut is above them, and then we see them pretty much falling. So then we're back to Vegapunk's message. He says, "We all know travel between islands can be excruciatingly difficult. The seas one must traverse are so vast and perilous, most people are content to live and die at their place of birth, never experiencing any culture other than their own. Isn't that a bit obvious? Yeah, everyone knows the seas are dangerous. That is common knowledge to us now, but it wasn't like that 1,000 years ago." And then you have a shot of Zoro's village with the children pretty much training in their samurai kendo kind of techniques. A cataclysmic ecological disaster occurred during the Void Century, and the ancient world was swallowed by the ocean. We are now living atop the remnants, continental fragments of the land masses that once were. So that's crazy. So okay, it really was like that back then, where pretty much there really was a past island. Sorry guys, I'm trying to make sure that this USB. I don't understand what happened. I'm I'm guessing the mouse just died because I mean like that's interesting. So okay, so basically it needs a little bit of a charge. Um, 1 second, everybody. I'm pretty sure. I think I figured it out. I think the mouse has to charge, and then it pretty much reacts off of how much battery it has, then connects to the USB. So okay. I think we're back in action. Yes, we are. All right. So, anyways, let's continue on. So yes, the land was once a whole continent. It wasn't just about like, the ocean covering the world and there was a little bit. It was literally like every single part of the world was connected and the ocean was probably barely there. So then we cut down and we have the Revolutionary Army saying, "Say what? The world of a millennia ago sleeps unseen at the bottom of the ocean." Okay, and then continuing on, he says, "I know it's hard to believe on my word alone, but there really were multiple vast continents back then." And then everybody on Nami's island's looking shocked. "This is insane. Hey, Nojiko, where do you think you're going? The whole world is at stake. Fill me in later. I gotta check on the tangerine orchard. Nojiko." So, like, it's kind of crazy because I don't know if that's like a relevant thing or she's just doing it because maybe that's just how she is, but like, she's worried about the tangerine orchard even now while everything's going on. Okay. So, or maybe that somehow relates to what he's saying. I don't know how it would exactly, but maybe. Um, This change in the world helps explain how a century of history could be censored, a feat that seems nigh impossible, but it makes sense when you consider the undeniable conclusion all the data points to. Within a mere century, the average sea level rose by a staggering 200 meters. What? You're kidding. 200? So, okay, wow. Within the mere century, the average sea level rose by a staggering 200 meters. That's actually insane. A warship's only 60 meters tall. No wonder the old world disappeared. Hey, stop listening to this crap. We have work to do. The Seraphim and all those imprisoned Cypherpole agents were spotted falling out of the lab building. We've got to rescue them. And then you go back to the island where, I believe it's... Well, actually, this might be the same island, but I'm pretty sure it's the island where, Luffy and Bellamy fought. It says they're laughing in the bar and they're saying, "Did you hear that? His tails keep getting taller. The old farts lost his marbles. What a joke." Then you've got Sakura Kingdom, Chopper's hometown. Is that really possible? And then she's laughing. She's saying, "Even now, the world still finds a way to keep things interesting." And then that mountain is around 200 meters. You're saying that you're saying something. Sorry guys, my reading is off. I have no idea why. Maybe it's work, but I'm just like, so I'm trying to like take everything in. You're saying something that tall would be submerged. That's awful. How many people died? And then you've got a shot of Miss I think it was Miss Tuesday, I think. The one that did the artwork and painted on Luffy and them when they first met Dory and Brogy. But anyways, we go down and it says that begs the question: how and why did such a flood occur? Naturally, your first inclination might be to assume it was some kind of natural disaster. However, I can say for certain that it was no such thing. It was a man-made calamity. Then the Morgan's on his ship. You can't be serious. If this catastrophe was brought about by natural means, there would be records denoting early warning signs several centuries earlier. It was a severe world-altering event after all. And then you have Vivi telling him to be quiet because she's trying to listen, which is pretty funny. But all my research into meteorology, geology, ecology, and atmospheric science confirmed that there was no such natural buildup. It is impossible for such a drastic change to happen spontaneously within the span of a mere 100 years, meaning the cause lies elsewhere. My suspicions were confirmed a few days ago when I analyzed the world's current sea levels. This will be hard to accept, and you have a shot of the Gorosei, but that disaster 800 years ago was caused by ancient weapons technology capable of sinking the world. And that very same firepower evidently still exists, just waiting to be used again. In other words, the Great War, which ravaged the world during the Void Century, is still ongoing. Wait, okay. I get we have the shot of Emu here. I don't know if emus mad or not because it looks like they are because of the eyes and everything. But let me just read this last part and get some context. And that very same firepower evidently exists, just waiting to be used again. In other words, that great war which ravaged the world during the Void Century is still ongoing. The genius sheds light on a forgotten history. So, okay. That's the end of the chapter. No break. I think that's good that we don't get a break because, like, even though this is a very big information dump and the whole world's learning about it, I feel like this is things that we've kind of known based on speculation. So there's nothing too crazy that happened in this chapter besides us getting the information about the Void Century and how the world was originally sunken and then the sea levels rose, which we kind of put together from the Mother Flame being used on Lulucia, and then obviously the water level is rising, and he kind of already announced that the world was going to sink like a chapter or two ago. So this chapter, it's good because the lore's there and the world's like learning it, which is cool. I guess we have to have that build up, but I am glad that there's no break next week because I feel like we can expound upon this or there's something to be had after this. It was really cool seeing Ethan actually cut the labo phase stratum, however you say it, in half. I think that was cool in order to see his power. I think he'll definitely end up fighting Zoro, if not Mihawk or one of them too, in the near future. But in general, I mean, this chapter was really just like a move along chapter, which I think is fine. I'm definitely more hyped for next week though to see maybe where all this information leads us and what the Gorosei plan to do after the fact of being found out. Um, but I think we're finally getting there though in terms of everything finally coming to a close. Like I see that the Straw Hats are finally about to escape. We see Zoro and Jinbei and they're actually finally getting out of there and everything. We have Susie who was trying to pretty much take the way out, which is pretty cool. But I think from here, really, everything seems to be going good. I mean, for like what this chapter was, I have no complaints. It was more of just a passerby chapter. And also just want to say hey to the person viewing. If you're still watching, thank you for coming in. If you can, please give the video a like or subscribe if you like. We do this every week and trying to get more like content out as we go. But anyways, with this chapter though, I mean, really, I liked it. I mean, I thought it was cool. I mean, going through everything again, it just seems like we're pretty much getting to the point where Emu's being found out on top of the world government. This could turn heads on the government in general. But I don't really feel that impact too hard because we kind of already had that happening, at least amongst the pirates, and them making wanted posters for the Marines. So like that was already kind of in the works. But it is a good chapter though. I mean, it's very passive but very cool at the same time. We just didn't really get too much. I mean, in the beginning it was funny too because we had Damalo Black and everything, and he's in here. They're pretty much just impersonating Kids Crew, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, like that was cool. Seeing Momo and everything, and Wano with Luffy's flag on it was pretty cool. Some people obviously doing the audio snails, some people doing the video. But in general, I think this was a pretty decent chapter. It was a nice chill chapter. Like things happened, but I feel like we really like kind of got everything at a very mellow level to maybe build up hype for the next chapter or the next couple chapters down the line. But we also again did learn that the world was pretty much not submerged, and I think people were actually like more together when there wasn't so much sea. So that's pretty cool. I hope he kind of expands on the fact that like Joy Boy became the first pirate though, because I would like to know if he became the first pirate before the water rose 200 meters or if he became the first pirate after. I'm guessing before, because obviously he fought the 20 kingdoms that are now the world government before he ended up probably becoming a pirate. If not, I'm guessing he did it after, but it would make more sense if it's before because it sounds like this battle happened and then the world rose 200 meters. So if that's the case, I guess he became a pirate before the sea levels rose and the whole world was pretty much connected. But that's just for later speculation. I'm definitely gonna watch some videos on that, like King of Lightning and Rogers Base and everything. Maybe see if they can pick apart anything else in this chapter that I'm not. But in general, I mean, this was a really good chapter. I think we're also gonna land there because, guys, I mean, like that was pretty much it for me. I mean, I'm liking it. I'm definitely thinking it's cool. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We will definitely have. Well, I pointed over there down below. We'll definitely have more videos coming out. We'll definitely be here again next week. I do plan to get more videos out. I'm kind of just deciding on what. I mean, maybe theory videos, maybe even react to the anime. I don't know. But yeah, guys, this was awesome. Thank you guys for coming through. If you are watching this video, I definitely appreciate it. And just know we're still getting our feet off the ground here. And yeah, that's everything, guys. So without further ado, I just want to say thank you guys again for coming.